Mayday is brought to you by our October podcast partners. Our small business podcast partner this month is JordanDene.com. That is Jordan, DENE.com. She runs an apparel and accessories company. It is fantastic stuff. If you have a fandom, you should go check this out. This is functional fandom items. So these are t-shirts, accessories, aprons, all kinds of great things that are themed around fandoms but aren't your everyday looking stuff. You can wear this stuff every day. They're totally fashionable and functional, and I think you will really like what you see. If you have children, they have a kids section that has all kinds of cool stuff. Onesies, kids t-shirts, crayon bandoliers, which I think are one of the coolest, most unique things I've ever seen. So definitely go check them out. JordanDene.com. Once again, it's Jordan, like Jordan, DENE.com. Our organization podcast partner this month is NARAL Missouri. They are Missouri's largest grassroots pro-choice organization working to protect a woman's right to a full range of reproductive health care for over 40 years. They are doing some amazing work. You might have seen us live stream an event that they were at where they had their Handmaids protest group. Look for more on that as the month goes on. For more information about them, you can go to prochoicemissouri.org. That's prochoicemissouri.org to get more information about NARAL Missouri. Lastly, our wild card, and this one I am very excited to introduce you all to. It is called Geek Girl Brunch. You can find out all about them if you visit their website, geekgirlbrunch.com. This was something that is really cool, very grassroots, started up in New York City by 3 women who were looking to start a women's-only brunch group to just talk about geeky stuff and do geeky stuff with fandoms and all kinds of things. So now it has kind of exploded, and they have chapters all over the country in the United States. There might be one in your city. You don't know. Or a lot of international. There's some at Iceland, Tokyo, just all over the place. So you can visit them, geekgirlbrunch.com. They have a map and a list of their chapters. You can also apply to start a chapter in your city if this is something you are interested in. So visit geekgirlbrunch.com, find your local chapter, or start a local chapter. That is geekgirlbrunch.com. Check them out. So once again, those are our October podcast partners. Thank you to all of them, and we're really excited to promote them and push out some good people doing really cool stuff. This is Mayday, the Handmaid's Tale podcast. Hey everybody, it's Justin from Mayday, the Handmaid's Tale podcast. Big news today. HULU announced that Season 2 of The Handmaid's Tale will be released April 2018, sticking with the same timeline as last season. As you remember, Season 1 dropped on us April 30th of last year. So you can find this on all of their social media outlets. They have a teaser video that just shows what we assume to be Offred, but is just the back of a handmaid who is walking through what looks like the snow with a flashlight in the dark, and we're not really sure what else goes on besides that, and there's a brief teaser with the date and that it's in production. There is some very ominous sounding music, so we know that they're not letting up on the dark tone of the show, which we've heard from everything that we've read from the writers and creators of the show, that next season is not going to let up at all. We know that Alexis Bledel is coming back in a full-time role as Emily. We also know that Clea Duvall has been cast as a new role as Emily's wife, so we're going to probably get a little bit of their backstory from everything that we're hearing. We also know that Amanda Brigel, hope I'm pronouncing that right, who was Rita from last season, is also coming back in a larger role, full-time role. So we're going to hopefully get more of her story, because we didn't really get a lot other than what she revealed with her son dying in the battle with Gilead when she was drinking and talking with Serena Joy towards the end of last season. Other things we know from everything we've read, that it's going to be much darker, like we said, that we're probably going to get a look at the colonies, which may also get us a look at June's mom, who we only really heard briefly about last year with the man who helped her and Luke try to escape, who apparently got a vasectomy from June's mom. So we know that she was probably a doctor or some sort of medical person, but we haven't heard much about her since, so hopefully we're going to get a look at that. We also know that from our Ann Dowd interview that died and disappeared, sorry about that, that she told us Aunt Lydia is definitely going to get a little darker and going to figure out where she went wrong with the handmaids. and that instead of softening up and maybe questioning some of her commitments, she's going to double down her efforts. So look for that to be very interesting, and for Aunt Lydia to somehow be more intimidating and more frightening. So what happens with Janine, we don't know. Last time we saw Janine, they were going to stone her, and then they didn't. So that's where we left that. And also, what happens with Moira now that her and Luke and the woman who does not speak, whose name I cannot remember, are up in Little America in Canada now that she's escaped? What happens with all of that? What becomes of Emily, formerly known as Ovglen? What happens to her? Last time we saw her, she ran over a dude with her car, and they promptly took her off to what I can only assume is terrible, horrible Gilead jail. So we'll see what's going to happen with her. And like I said, we're going to get her backstory with Clea Duvall being cast as her wife. So it should be a lot of interesting developments with her, and we're really excited that she's coming back as a full-time cast member. So many stories and so many storylines that were left open at the end of season 1. Just really looking forward to season 2 and where they take it. Like I said, from everything we've read, they're not letting up on the heavy, dark tone of the show. As Offred is, June is on the run with Nick's baby. So we'll see where all of that goes. But we also do have some news. I was looking at IMDb that Mike Barker, who was one of the directors last season, I believe he directed episodes 4 and 5 after Reed Morano directed the first 3. He was the next director. It looks like he is directing 5 episodes this season. And I believe there are 12 or 13 from what we've read. So that's a big deal for him. They brought him back. He did a great job. I can't say enough about the production value and all the directors and writers and everything that went into the show. So that's really cool that he's coming back. Haven't heard much on anyone else that's coming back. I know they're trying to get Reed Morano to come back, or Reed Morano, sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly, to come back and direct some, but she had some scheduling conflicts. So hopefully she will be back, because obviously her direction in the first 3 episodes really set the tone and kicked this thing off fantastically. So hopefully she'll be back. What else do we know? I think that's it. We're going to learn everything we need to know, hopefully, season 2. And as we get more information, we will send it to you and post it on social media. You can find us at Handmaid Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also share this with everyone and tell them to download Mayday, the Handmaid's Tale podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, iTunes, Google Play, pretty much everywhere. So thanks for listening. Just wanted to give you a quick update now that they have made this announcement, and hope everybody has a great day. Bye. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Please head over to allconsumingcontent.com for more great podcasts you can check out. Back to the Money Bin, a DuckTales podcast, Player vs. Player podcast, and Blues Hockey podcast. You can also check out our radio station at Handmaid's Resistance Radio. That is on Slacker Radio, or for free on the Slacker app.